It may be a sign of how tensions have escalated between the bike riders and the NYPD at a moment when police were trying to disperse a crowd of riders after confiscating bikes and making arrests. New York Times reporter Colin Moynihan, who was standing on the corner doing interviews with members of Critical Mass, seconds later was surrounded by police and taken into custody.
My name's Ann Sherman-Caskey. I'm a freelance photojournalist based in New York. And I went down to Union Square last Friday, the 29th, to cover Critical Mass. The police were there as usual. They're not giving any order to disperse. They're just standing there. They're sort of watching. So this is the first group of people that I saw leave. 2 minutes after this portion of the ride started, a woman was stopped very aggressively. Assistant Chief of Police Smolka grabbed her off of her bike and like by the scruff of the neck, and he had like a fistful of her jacket in his hand. Smolka was saying, you're riding your bike on the sidewalk, you're arrested. Her bike was seized, and then a friend or someone she knew came in and tried to help her, and these two women were treated incredibly roughly. He's got her forearm, he's got her by the scruff of the neck, and this poor woman was so distressed. She had this incredibly nice bike. It's so unnecessary, it's so brutal.
Those guys are guilty of riding on the sidewalk. That's a summons now. This is Union Square, where like all the kids hang out and skateboard and ride their bikes 24/7. Who isn't riding on the sidewalk?
They're just coming down the street, and I was coming alongside a bus, and apparently it was a red light, and I was just trying to get away from the bus, and I entered the crosswalk, and Assistant Chief Smolka jumped out in front of me and said, "You just entered the crosswalk on a red light, come over to the sidewalk," and they're having to be processed.
So you were just visiting from Chicago and not part of Mass?
I'm actually here for a bicycle education leaders conference, and it starts Monday. One of the things that I was saying earlier that I like to do is tell people you're safer if you obey the law. So it's just something I generally do.
I was at the photo desk at the New York Times when the call came in that Colin Moynihan had been arrested on 6th and A Friday night at Critical Mass.
That's a lot of people to walk freely. Thank you. You gotta keep it moving. You can't congregate in the crosswalk. It's congregating block traffic. You're blocking pedestrian traffic at this point, which is a crime. It's called disorderly conduct. So I'm gonna ask you to move. Thank you.
The sidewalks are blocked by drunk yuppies every weekend. You guys don't know nothing about that.
Have a good night. What's your name? What's your badge? What's your badge?
Protect us, not throw judo shots at anybody.
He's from the New York Times.
He's talking to the fucking reporter from the Times.
He's the press. He's from the New York Times, dude.
Oh, shit. Let him go!
He did nothing to warrant that, Sergeant. Sergeant, he did nothing to warrant that treatment. What did he do?